Brunson, Towns, and Anunoby have freedom on offense to break away from Brown's principles. The other side of that, of course, is the green light to improvise out of Mike Brown's defensive plan. He said OG special player, Mitchell Robinson special player, Mikal Bridges special player, Josh Hart special player, Deuce. So these guys have the freedom to do something defensively that you kind of let it go. And if it happens too much and it's not working, then you have to correct it. Even same thing on the glass. Josh is a special rebounder. And if we have crash zones where we want our guys to crash the glass from, the reality of it is, as special as Josh is, when it comes to second opportunities, he's going to have a lot of freedom no matter where he is on the floor. And that ties into this three-point tracking defense, which is, I think, what Mike Brown believes would help them defensively crack the top 10 defense. Because right now we're second in the league in offensive rating. But we're still 13th in the league in defensive rating. I got to check, fact check the numbers. But Mike Brown said we want to be 100%, but I'm okay at a 75% or higher, and that would be at three-point defense, contested three-pointers. So we want to be 100%, but I'm okay at 75% or higher. And we had a lot of guys that were below 75% when it comes to contesting those threes in recent games. We want them to do the best they can and no more. We want them to be the second jumper, do the best they can and no more. Believe that you can shift or make the floor look smaller because we're long. But sometimes we have a knack of shifting, and then when it comes to closing out, sometimes we don't even put a hand up. So we can do a little bit better job in that area. I'll let y'all get the floor for this because I really don't. The last two games, they've been switching so well. The only one I noticed that wasn't really switching great was Yabusele, and there were a lot of misses from Brunson. I didn't like the way he switched on several rotations in the first quarter of the last game, and Yabusele's missed a lot during this time. But I guess y'all could speak to more about how they're not in position to contest the shot in the first place and have to be there for the second jump.
Well, yeah, you talk about two of the. I mean, Yabusele looks out of shape, and I guess he'll get in shape. So playing basketball is the best way to get in shape. I don't know what after the Euro Bowl what he was doing or what he was eating, but he did. Like, the bro just looked a little fat. And we know that Brunson's a little rotund himself. You know what I'm saying? So those
Not
are
this
two weak
year.
spots.
Not this
Oh
year.
yeah, he looks better than normal, but he's still not. Brunson is not the. Obviously he's not the quickest. But I think that'll come. Yeah, you're right. We got to be contesting threes. I always said this at the beginning of the Tib era. Be good at shooting threes, but also be good at contesting threes. And that'll be the key because three-point is where the attack is in NBA in this day and age. So right there, you see accountability. I just what I like. Okay, that's the other thing, the hard hat thing. That seemed like a gimmick, bro. But people are trying to get that hard hat, be the defensive player of the game. That goes to show you that offensively, we already know what we are. But we're going to win these games shutting people down. And, I think people going to want to have that hard hat. I think it's a competitive thing within the team. Play the best defense. Hey, can JB get him a hard hat? JB the captain need to get him a couple of hard hats in there. You know what I'm saying? Mitch, I know Mitch got the last one.
Yo,
you know what I mean? Deuce, Josh.
Yo, Tori.
Yeah.
Over under on Jalen Brunson hard hats for the season.
No. More
or less.
No. He's not getting a hard hat this season. It's not.
That's
not happening.
You're going less than
it's going to be under one.
Tori, you're going to get like 3. He's going to have a couple of games where he take them charges. It's going to be a big charge.
Is not going to get him no. They playing too hard out there. You got to compete with Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. He ain't getting no hard hat, yo.
He had 8 rebounds last game. That's pretty good.
Yo, you wasn't laughing when Mitch almost took him out when he was trying to get the rebound.
Yeah,
and Mitch looked down like, "What are you doing over here?"
I loved it. I
was in tears. I said, "Oh God, Mitch gonna kill him, yo."
That's like Mitch asking for the ball to 3-point line.
Right. Like, get out of here. What are you doing over here? This is my territory.
Right.
I tell you this, baby. Closing out on defense, on shots, on threes is about staying in front of your man defensively on the court. Because the only way that you're not going to be close enough to close out on your man on a three is if you get sucked in because whoever's playing on the ball is getting drugged to the rim. That's this driving kick. Their focus has to be, because closing out, and correct me if I'm wrong, King Speak, closing out, you're supposed to chop your feet. You don't run at the shooter. You chop your feet with your hands up to close out on a shooter. You don't run at the shooter. That's where guys get in a problem. Is a running at the shooter. Then they're going for the pump fake, or they're sliding their foot underneath the other guy's foot. And that's not how you close out on the shooter. But to close out on the shooter, you got to have a commitment to everybody else playing good defense on ball and off the ball. Because it's only supposed to be an arms width away at most, at the least, from your shooter, especially if you're slow, to be able to get there and close out on the shooter. You're not supposed to have to run all the way across the court. So it's got to be a team thing. You're not going to lock guys up. I've only seen a few teams that could play defense for the whole game, college and pro. UNLV, those Pat U and Georgetown teams, the two Pistons teams, and this under team are the only teams I've seen in the history of basketball that can play defense for that whole duration of the game. So you've got to figure out moments of getting stops. You've got to figure out times where you say, okay, this next 5 minutes, we got to make them work defensively. We've got to get in the passing lane. We've got to get steals. We've got to get every loose ball and block out on the rebounds. It's got to be a commitment by everybody. So for you to win a chip, at some point, Jalen Brunson's going to have to get that hard hat because he's going to have to make sacrifices defensively. He's going to have to. He can't sit in the corner and guard. He's going to have to play on-ball defense. And even what's that?
Fish.
No.
More or less. How many hard hats did Jalen Brunson end up with by the end of the season? More or less 2? More than 2 or less than 2?
I'm going to say if he really wants to play defense, he can get 3 or 4. Oh. He can get 3 or 4, and he can get them in big games. And he doesn't have to lock down the whole game, but have that moment where you're sliding your feet defensively and you stop your man from getting past you. You know what I'm saying? Have those moments. Get those moments because help defense is in case you get beat. Help defense ain't a play call. My bad ain't a play call. We had a thing where my bad ain't a play call. Help defense is in case you get beat. It's not a requirement. The requirement is you play your man defensively as strong as you can play.
Yo, King Speech. Jalen Brunson has been doing a lot of my bad lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, we know he's dirt on defense. All I'm saying is one of these games, he's gonna draw like a key charge on Maxey. Right? Like he's gonna get Maxey out the game by drawing a charge or 2 or something like that. Play that little help defense, get in there and draw. You know what I mean? That's what because that's really what he offers, right? He offers that ability to draw a few charges, and I think he's going to do that a couple of times, and that's going to really get him. But again, this is what I'm saying. The spirit of that is you're putting the teammates against each other, seeing who will make the best defensive impact. Now, did Clarkson win it one night?
Yes.
If Jordan Clarkson Jordan Clarkson won one. So if Clarkson can win one, the captain can win one. Matter of fact, since Clarkson got one, the captain better win 1 or 2. Come on, bro, 2. That's all I'm asking. It's an 82-game season, man. We're going to have a lot of W's.
Tori, am I the only one who thinks Jalen Brunson has actually been trying hard on the defensive end this year? It's me.
No. We were
trying hard. He's dirt.
We were giving
listen, what you can and can't. Everybody has a shortcoming, and defense is his. But I think he's been playing harder on the defensive end. I maybe it's just me.
We would give him his props. We gave him his props, but now it's gonna stand out because the last game you can see where I'm talking about the rotations now. Because now I think the Knicks are now I'm watching them and I go, okay. They're going to a switch-heavy defense like Golden State was doing against Cleveland 10 years ago. So the whole league was doing that. Boston's doing that, whoever. And we want people to end up being guarded by OG, Bridges, Hart, McBride, And before we forget, I haven't seen enough Mitch and Deuce lineups. If you know Mitch is playing the first 3 minutes of every quarter and the last 3 minutes of every quarter, Deuce should be penciled in for those times as well. That was every one of our best defensive lineups last year were with those two guys. We need to see that. We need to see more reps of that.
I think we will. I honestly think we will.
Why do you think that, Tori?
Because I do. I think that all the adjustments that he's made with the lineups, they've come slowly.
Yeah.
So I think
remember, Mitch only
in the
playing
next
16
couple
minutes.
of games, right? He started out playing 64 people in one game. So now he's tightening up his rotations. He's tightening up the amount of people that he's playing, and he's switching up rotations here and there. I think you'll get a Mitch Deuce lineup. I think you'll get it because he's a defensive coach. So it's not like he don't know to put his best defensive players out there at the same time.
Why don't the Knicks sometimes play a matchup zone like Dallas did with Dirk?
Explain that.
Because matchup zone principles are playing an area.
Break down matchup zone.
A matchup zone, you got different types of matchup zones. Temple's matchup zone was the prototype, where if you come down the middle of the court, they're in a man-to-man. If you swing the ball to the right, calling a man play, they would hop into a 2-3. You swing it back to the top of the key, they're back in a man. You swing it to the left side of the court, thinking they're in a man, now they're in a 3-2. Temple's zone, matchup zone, was predicated by where you made the pass, and it looked like jumble, but somebody was always in the passing lane. A matchup zone is a zone with man principles. It looks like a zone, but it feels like a man, which is what the Mavericks did when they had Dirk and they had all of those guys, Sean Marion and them. They had guys who could play a tough zone, a tough man. They had guys that needed zone, but they all played hard and they were all on a string, so it worked. The Knicks have to figure out a good zone to run that has man principles to where you don't have to hide Jalen Brunson, but he can play in different pockets and make a break on the ball and get a steal, or come behind somebody and and tap the ball out, and now you're on the break. You don't have to play a man the whole game. Golden State he was in Golden State. They played zones with man principles. You've got to figure out how to utilize what Jalen Hurts does do well defensively and put him in a position to succeed, because he has been playing better defense. But it's got to be more consistent.
So if Golden State played man zone 10 years ago, I always just thought they were doing switch heavy stuff. And the Knicks, I think they're starting to learn that, but it's going to be really tough. Like this, I think it takes a lot of work to play defense. It's way harder to play defense now than ever before. The way they have to switch and run around, I know you always needed to show effort, but the way Jalen Brunson has to be able on high alert all the time to get off the guy that they're gonna try to, dog you on, it's tough, man. And especially when you're not a great defender already, one-on-one or anything like that. You're not even know Derek White, and you're damn near similar size. But I don't know. What have you been seeing from them that they're lacking to get to that next step, though, Fish?
Team effort. Defense is a team thing. It's everybody's got to sacrifice to the rotation. Everybody's got to commit to the rotation of defense, because with any defense, if you get the ball to the middle of the defense, you're done. If you get the ball to the middle of the court. So whoever's in the middle of the court defensively has to break fast enough to get out to that wing, so who's at the top of the key can drop back down. So it's just about a commitment. Like I said, you don't have to lock guys up. You have to have moments where you're playing tough and you're making tough shots on guys. But it's got to be every guy on the court, every guy on the team making that sacrifice. Even if you're right, the thing is, what was the rule in basketball? You rest on offense, you play hard defense. That's with every sport. You rest on offense, you play tough defense. They've got to have that type of commitment, and you got a defensive-minded coach. So he should be able to figure out, because he's been with every type of team, and all of them play defense, be it the Lakers, Cleveland, Golden State. So he knows what great defense looks like, but he knows what the process was to get those guys to that point. So he should be able to figure out how to put your guys in a good position to play great defense in moments that you need to get those stops. Of anybody else, that's what he did. That's what Mike Brown did.
Knicks Rehab.